Hello, geeks! Have you heard? It's finally time for me to go to Hogwarts! And I think I have everything on my list, but I kind of lost my list of what I need for school. I have my wand, my pet. I found this cauldron in the Halloween decorations. I also found these robes. I know I'm forgetting something though. I know! I'm forgetting treats for the train ride. What should I take? Should probably get some fudge in honor of the greatest minister of magic. Well, at least in his mind. Those look good. Butterbeer flavored. I also like cake. The cake's kind of hard to travel with. I know! Cupcakes! Ooh, butterbeer cupcakes. They smell delicious. They taste good too. But cupcakes can be a little bit messy. I have the perfect traveling companion, cookies. Hopefully the trolley witch won't get too upset that I bring my own treats. Cause it'll be cheaper to bring my own than to buy from her. What? You can't magic your own treats into existence? I guess I'll have to show you how to make them. Let's head to the kitchen. First we're going to start with the fudge, because although it takes less time to make than the other two, it's going to take a while for it to set up. For the butterbeer fudge, you'll need a half teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 cup white chocolate chips, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, an additional 1/3 cup of sweetened condensed milk, 3 cups of butterscotch chip, and 1 cup of marshmallow. So we're going to need to take an 8x8 pan and line it with some foil. And we're going to spray it, some pan. It doesn't stick to the foil. Next we're going to work on the butterscotch layer. We're going to need 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to melt the butter in a small saucepan. Once your butter is melted, add your sweetened condensed milk and your 3 cups of butterscotch chips. Stir it until your chips are melted. Once your butterscotch chips are melted, grab your 8x8 pan, pour the melted butterscotch chips into the 8x8 pan, then set aside. For the white frothy flavor, I decided to use unicorn chips instead of white chips. It's not going to give quite as the same frothy look. It might look cool. Add your 1/3 cup of sweetened condensed milk. Your vanilla. I am using clear vanilla because it's supposed to be a white layer and I didn't want it to darken it. You can use regular vanilla extract if you have it, or a different brand. Add it a little extra. It'll be fine. 1 cup of our unicorn chip and milk. Once melted, remove from the heat and drizzle it on top of the butterscotch flavor. Take a butter knife and try to drizzle, mix the colors together. The original recipe called for 1 cup of marshmallow pieces, but I bought mini marshmallows instead, and I'm going to use 2 cups because I love marshmallow. Press that in. We're going to stick this in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours. Next, we're going to make some butterbeer cupcakes. You will need a half tablespoon of honey, 2 eggs, 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 1/2 tablespoons of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, half cup of brown sugar, 2 1/4 cups of powdered sugar, a half teaspoon of salt, a half teaspoon of vanilla, 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 cups of butter, 1 3/4 teaspoons of butter extract, a half cup of buttermilk, 1 tablespoon of heavy cream, 1 1/2 cup of butterscotch chips, 3 cups of butterscotch beer or cream soda, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla paste or extract. Take 3 cups of cream soda and we're going to add that to our saucepan. We're going to reduce that until we get about a 1/2 cup. The directions say it'll take about 20 to 30 minutes. While that reduces, we're going to preheat the oven to 350 and put our cups into our cupcake tray. Now this will make 24 cupcakes. I'm just going to do 2 batches, and I didn't get any special paper, just the generic. A neat hack is if you take your pan and you spray the cupcakes before you put cupcake mix in, it'll actually make it so that the wrapper comes off easily and you're less likely to get cupcake left on your wrapper and have to eat the paper. You're going to place the dry ingredients into a separate bowl and mix them. You're going to need 1 3/4 cup of flour. It's going to get 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. Please do not mix up your flu powder with your baking powder. That would just be gross. You need a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I am using kosher salt because that's what Elton Brown uses and it's just what we started buying. You can use just regular table salt if you want. Go ahead and mix together. It says whisk. I'm using a fork to whisk it together. So once your butterscotch beer or cream soda is finally reduced, set it aside. Now we're going to melt some more butterscotch chips. Exactly 1/3 cup of them. We are finally ready to mix, geeks. We're going to take our stick of butter, which is also a 1/2 cup of butter, put it in our mixer, add a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and a 1/4 cup of regular sugar. And cream the butter. Next we're going to add our eggs. Next we're going to add our reduction of cream soda. It smells really good. And our butterscotch chips until mixed and combined. We're going to add our buttermilk and our dry ingredients a little at a time while we mix. That is a beautiful color, everybody. So we got this beautiful color. Smells delicious. I wish you could smell it, geeks. Just have to make your own batch. We have our cups set up, so we're going to fill our cups. An ice cream scoop or a 1/4 cup measuring cup usually works best for filling my cupcake cups. And we're going to put these in the oven for 14 to 18 minutes. While we wait for the second batch to finish baking and we have the first batch cooling, we're going to start making our butterbeer cream icing. We're going to melt some more butterscotch chips, 1 cup this time. I'm going to put that aside to slightly cool. We're going to put in 3 softened sticks of butter into our mixing bowl. And we're going to mix. Okay, we're going to add to that our slightly cooled melted butterscotch chips until combined. Butter kind of melted. Then we're going to add our powdered sugar up at a time for a total of 2 1/4 cups. Then we need to add our vanilla and butter extract. We need 3/4 tablespoons of the butter extract and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. I think that's a pretty good batch. I don't know. That's what my frosting looks like. Once your cupcakes are completely cool, it's time to ice them. Be using a bag and a tip, but if you don't have a bag and a tip, it's okay to use a knife or spatula or spoon or whatever you have. And seemingly putting it in the refrigerator is not a good idea. Don't do that. Now that the cupcakes are all frosted, it's time to make the ganache drizzle. For the ganache drizzle, we're going to take a 1/4 cup of the butterscotch chips, which should finish the bag, and 1 tablespoon of heavy cream. We're going to microwave for 30 to 45 seconds. Stir that. Try to stir that. 30 seconds. For 15. Okay, and to that we're going to add a 1/2 tablespoon of honey. Now, nice thing about honey is if you buy local honey, it actually helps with allergies. We are going to drizzle the ganache. If you have a kid, probably be a fun job for them. And there you have it, butterbeer cupcakes. So up next, we have cookies. For the cookies, you'll need 2 egg yolks, 2 cups of flour, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 cups brown sugar, 1 cup of powdered sugar, 5/8 teaspoon of salt, 1 pinch of salt, a 1/4 cup of sugar, 12 ounces of butterbeer or cream soda, 1 7/16 cup of butter, 1 3/4 teaspoons of butter extract, 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, 1 1/4 cup of butterscotch chips, and a 1/2 teaspoon of butter bean paste or extract. If you didn't just make cupcake, make sure that you preheat your oven to 350. Once again, you're going to get a bowl and you're going to put your dry ingredients in it. Takes 2 cups of flour, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mix that together. We're going to attach our paddle, because it's been naughty, to the stand mixer and cream the butter, brown sugar, and regular sugar until light and fluffy, about 2 to 3 minutes. Next, we are going to separate our eggs, which I usually make Jeremy do, so hopefully it goes well. You're going to just want the yolk, so you can use the egg white for something else. Perhaps you'll want your egg whites for dinner, or cook them up and give them to the dog. Give them a special treat. So we got our egg whites and our 2 egg yolks. Mix your egg yolk in with your creamed butter. Then add your slightly cooled melted butterscotch chip. Once combined, add your vanilla and your butter extract. Scrape the sides as needed. Now it's time to start adding your dry ingredients a little at a time until combined. Then we add non-melted butterscotch chips. And it says to mix it with a spatula. I'm just going to mix it on low. We're going to line our cookie sheet. I like to use parchment paper. It actually says in the directions to use parchment paper, but it makes it so that the cookies don't stick to your pan. Makes cleanup a lot easier. It says to do about 2 tablespoons worth of goop, so about a heaping tablespoon. We're going to bake these for 10 to 11 minutes. Allow your cookies to slightly cool on the pan, then move to a cooling rack. While our cookies are cooling, we're going to go ahead and start making our Butterbeer caramel as well as our Butterbeer buttercream for the cookies. Start by adding your cream soda or butterscotch beer to a pot to simmer on low to medium heat. This is going to take a while, so while that's simmering, you can start your frosting. For the frosting, add your softened butter and salt to a medium bowl and whip until it's a pale, fluffy color. This will take about 5 to 10 minutes. Then add your slightly cooled melted butterscotch chips until they're combined. For this frosting, I decided just to put it in the microwave. It actually came out a little bit better than doing it over the stovetop. Once combined, add your powdered sugar and mix some more. Lastly, add your butter extract and vanilla until it's light and fluffy. This will be about 1 minute. Once your soda is finally thick, turn down the heat to low and add in butter. Once the butter is fully mixed in and melted, mix in your cream and salt. Let it all simmer together for about 1 more minute, then remove from the heat to cool. Lastly, it's time to frost the cookies, then drizzle the Butterbeer caramel on top. It's now too hot in the kitchen, so I got out. These treats, for the most part, are delicious. The cookie's a little on the dry side. I think it needs a little either more fat or more of the egg. I'm not sure. I think the whole egg would make it a little bit less dry. Jeremy thinks that it needs more fat, or it might just need less cooking time than what I put it in for. But if you'd like to try these treats yourself, I'm going to put links below where I discovered the recipes, so you can try it out yourself and let me know if you make them and if you enjoy them. I'm also going to put a list of the ingredients you need for each of them. You can decide if you like the ingredient. As for me, I'm heading to Hogwarts. I have plenty of treats to eat while I play and learn. But geeks, which of these treats are you most excited about trying? Or do you have another recipe for a Butterbeer flavored treat that you'd like me to know about? Let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, geeks, later.